Hey, welcome back, everybody. And, well, it's a little wet outside, so, well, stay dry, stay warm. And here's the thing. New construction, as we have been telling you about each and every week, has actually been holding up the best, all things considered, even nationwide. That is super cool. And so when you take a look at it and you think, okay, there's some real key reasons why. One of them is, nobody's lived in the home and everybody likes something new. And the second is rate. So let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about our market. Let's have a little bit of fun. And, let's just make this thing happen. So first, let's take a look at this. Here we go. The spring new home sales prove resilient to higher rates. And that has a lot to do with the fact that builders have the ability to be a lot more flexible with financing. And that is probably one of the biggest things. Now, what's really funny is most sellers have that same option. They just either don't realize it or they don't take advantage of it. And that's something just to keep in mind. So as we roll forward, let's take a look at our top headlines, which new construction happens to be one of. So mortgage app volumes decline, and not unexpected. Why? Well, because rates have been bobbling around the sevens, mid sevens. It came back down again. Then, of course, we have the bottom left there, spring new home sales prove resilient to higher rates. And then, of course, par pricing as of Friday was basically 7.45, and rates go up and down every day. Rates go up and down multiple times during a day. Okay, not just once. And in fact, if you're getting quoted rate, one of the key questions in the 5 questions to ask when getting quoted mortgage rates is to make sure that you're quoting at the same time. If you're quoting one person in the morning, one person in the afternoon, those could be completely different rates. And you need to go back to the first one to ensure that you're getting accurate information. Okay, just saying. All right. So as we move along, some of the builder rates right now, when we talk about what makes them unique, what makes them in a different world altogether. Well, look at here. So move-in ready homes, 5.875, 30-year financing, $30,000 credit, which will, from a different builder, that gets you to that lower rate. And even Freddie here, when we take a look at Freddie Mac and we talk about financing and what's going on today, their running 7-day average is 7.17%. Now, that means that they're probably lagging just a little bit. Technically, it should be about 7.25 because even though rates peaked, rates actually did come back down a little bit. Again, they go up and down every day. They are traded on the public market. Now, because the CPI, because inflation and those numbers came in strong. And then the market conditions are showing strong, showing inflation as higher. Feds aren't going to be super excited about pulling rates down. In fact, they're going to push them off week. Next week, the Feds are meeting again. We're probably going to get some form of comment that the Feds aren't going to do anything. Now, depending on what Jerome Powell says, because if he says something that the market doesn't like, rates will go up. I don't think they'll hit the 8s. However, they'll probably spike up a tad bit. If he keeps his message calmer, then we're not going to see much change. In fact, we could actually see a lowering of rates. So if you're on the cusp of, hey, should I lock? Should I not lock? Next week will be super important. And make sure that if you can, take a look at some of the numbers like, our Wednesday issue, what's going to happen, because then the Feds will be making comment on that. So heads up. Definitely be watching the news next week and have your lender on the hotline, the red line is in, because if you see that they're talking about bad news, lock because rates will probably go up. Anyway, just saying. All right, moving on. Let's see here. Hey, so the Northwest MLS, we are still hooking and booking, as they say, and we are absolutely doing amazingly well. When we talk about retail sales, look, we're still seeing that those jump. That's why the Feds aren't going to cut rates. new listings are at 1,411. Pended 1,399. We're 12 homes off from being able to, be net zero. This is only the third week since October that the listings coming online, and actually only 2 weeks back to back, have exceeded the pended sales. And the pended sales, I would say they slowed down a little bit when the rates hit 7.5. Some people's qualifications changed. And so they weren't able to look at some homes that they were looking at because, it's a dollars and cents thing. However is, we were just at a house, a couple of them actually, and I'll tell you, man, there are still some crazy, crazy aggressive buyers out there. We are still seeing multiple offers. Even here you can see, a home comes on, a home's going off. A home comes on, a home is going off market. That is consistent. What we're seeing then is that our 1.8 months of inventory is about where we're seeing balance, okay? So if we had 2.5 months of homes, we would have more homes coming on than we would have going off based on the velocity that we're seeing right now. So our market is actually in pretty good balance. If we wanted to see buyers to shift from a seller's market more to a buyer's market, then we would have to see about 2.5 months of inventory as far as standing inventory. And some people say, George, what does that mean? All right, if we have a bucket, and we call that bucket the Northwest Multiple Listing Service, so the NWMLS, and all the agents put their listings in this bucket. We put a lid on it. It used to be 4 to 6 months was a balanced market, okay? Right now, and over the last 10 years, 2 to 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, 2 months really has been our balanced market, okay? And that's, where neither the buyers or the sellers have a distinct advantage. It's pretty much a level playing field. And that's kind of where we're at right now. That's how I see it. Because remember, there's three kinds of numbers, right? There's lies, damn lies, and then there's statistics. All right. Anyway, moving on. All right. So when we take a look at our next slide here, let me just blow this up for you. There we go. All right. It gives you a better look at it. So 1,411 for new listings, 1,399 pended, 957 actually sold. Okay. And that's super important because, again, we're still seeing the maintenance of that. Again, if you're looking for some really solid information, no marketing, no selling here, just solid, accurate information, go back. Many of my clients and other folks say, man, it is freakish how accurate you are. That's because we've been doing this a very long time, and we keep pretty much solid numbers all the way through. So let's take a look at what's going on with the what we call the active average that's available and the sold average. So when we blow this up so you can take a look at it, what's super interesting last week and this week, hey, you know what? That is basically the same. It was made a little bigger. It's basically the same. We have not seen any change in that, which is not uncommon. Everything is basically holding itself, and a lot of that is based on rate. And when we take a look at those numbers, okay, hey, listen. The fact that we're still seeing year-over-year increases, the fact that we're still seeing one home coming on, one home going off, tells us our market is still doing well. Even though people are acclimating to that 7.25, 7.5 rate, which is, well, actually pretty normal. High sixes, low sevens, that's where we should be on average. Some folks ask, hey, George, are we ever going to see the return of the 3% mortgage? Hey, the answer is no. Listen, guys, the only way we got there before is because the feds were buying mortgage-backed securities that they normally sell out in the market, and that created scarcity, and that created a better demand that drove down rates. But when they've been selling off the mortgage-backed securities, which happened in 2022, 2023, that then in turn flooded the market, and of course then the value became less. And of course, mortgage rates went up, and we saw that huge steep incline. I'm just saying. All right, let's move it on. Let's take a look at what we're doing as far as volume. Get a load of this. This is just awesome. Okay, so technically, even though on the same month, year over year, all of our numbers are positive. Our inventory is up. Our active inventory is up. New on market is up. Solds are up 12.2%, and pendeds are up 17%. Year to date, look, we're only up 1,300 homes. Okay, that's not a whole heck of a lot. But new on market was 3,200 homes more this year so far than last year. Excellent trend. We're seeing more sellers come into the market. Sold and pended, look, we're only 230 homes off from being actual net zero year over year, and that is still pretty impressive. In fact, we keep dropping that number. We are closing that gap. And then we have 438 more pended homes than we had last year at this time. Super cool information. Again, it just reaffirms our area. Now, listen, I know there's a lot of noise out there about mayhem and bedlam and everything else. What is happening in other states does not matter to me. It matters what's going on here. What is our economy doing? What are our demographics doing? What's our employment numbers? We know we have our crazy people creating more and more taxes, so hopefully they'll stop that. But the overall economy and what we need to do as far as to maintain a healthy market, we're doing really well. No complaints there. And, the buyers would complain because it's harder for them to get into the home. Affordability sucks. All right, new construction. Super cool here. It's kind of the base of the title. Let's blow this bad boy up. Now, year over year for the same month, our numbers are just doing incredibly well. All right. When we take a look at it year to date, we're down about 49 homes on the pended. And we're down 39 homes for overall closed sales. Pretty much small potatoes, right? Nationally, new home sales are up about 8.8% compared to February of last year. And so all things considered, or I should say last February, so all things considered, we're doing really well. Even when we take a look at the lower chart, which talks about the current where we're at as far as price. Our average price today is $943,000, which is about 2.9% higher. So if I make this other chart just a little bit bigger, look, our numbers are doing super well. We cannot complain. We're still seeing the new construction to basically be about 28% of our market, when it should only be about 11%. And so that's a big number still. And new construction is still, holding and giving support to our sales and whatnot, which is good because we need that inventory. Without it, we would really be hurting. All right. So when we take a look at REO, so bank-owned homes. All right. We delved in. We corrected some of the numbers so that they're a little bit more accurate, especially for some of the lending institutions that we work with, especially credit unions. Shout out to credit unions. You guys are awesome. You guys absolutely take care of your members. And I'll tell you, man, if I think it's one of the best places if you actually want to have that community bank feeling and have somebody really support you, offer you programs and things like that, and just really take care of you. That's what credit unions do. I'm just saying, it's my 2 cents. Been working with them for a lot of years, and I think they're just absolutely awesome sauce. All right, moving on. Let's get this in. All right, when we take a look at the bank owned and we take a look at what we have, technically we have a net zero as far as active inventory. When we went back through, we pulled the 7 of them out that are not, they're just normal sales and their listing agents just aren't paying attention. That's the wall of shame. And we only have about a 5% increase year over year to date as far as overall. But our sales are actually higher, along with pended being higher, just because a few more of them came on. But even still, those numbers are so small, it's unbelievable. That is one of the greatest things is even though we're seeing a mild uptick in defaults, which is normal because you couldn't foreclose before, you couldn't even start the process because of the CARES Act. and those have been filtering through. But because we have on the average about 35% equity over the last 3.5 years, most of these folks can either rewrite their notes at 40-year amortizations so they can stay in their home. That's some of the flexibility that lenders have, which is awesome. And there's other things that they have as far as tools available and or even selling because they have equity in their house and they can get a fresh start. Wipe the slate clean, as they say, and have a nice fresh start. So all things considered, everything is going very, very well. And remember, hey, tell us that you like the show by clicking the like button. Share it with 2 people you like and 1 person you don't like. And make sure you smash that subscribe button. Let us know, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Make sure you watch the 5 questions to ask when getting quoted mortgage rates and NAR, the truth of it in our area, which is different. That's another video we'll post. I will see you on the next video. Take care.